We on. Salute, fam. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? King of Kings, salute, bro. Big boy boxing, salute. What's happening with it, fam? Big hen in the building, salute, bro. What's happening with it, everybody? Man, we've been off for a minute, man. We need. Hold on. I was hearing the echo. Y'all hear that echo or something? Let me know if y'all hear the echo. King boxing, salute, bro. He said salute. Big boy said it's on. I hope all is well. Yeah, everything good, man. Just been busy, running. Ain't really been having no time, man. Then last week we was gonna get on, but the fight was on the damn app, and you already know Trey don't be wanting to call it on the app, man. Be uncomfortable. Big Hen say Garcia got skills, no doubt, but he's too small for Benavidez. Hey, I just put my picks in too, y'all. Oh, all right. J1 Pro in the building. Salute, bro. Yeah, I just put my picks in, Big Hen. We locked in. We was talking about this, what, about a week now? A little over a week? Maybe a couple weeks now, ever since we heard about it. Yeah, we locked in. Big boy boxing say, but then he did. He was only 50% for Spence. Aha, what BS? Yeah, he just got outclassed and didn't want to say it. J1 say, what's good, players? What's good, players on the corner? Salute, bro. Kevin Corcoran, salute. He said, salute MARLO'S corner and Trey X and everyone else in the chat as well as the mods. Love and respect, bro. Rodolfo Rivera Jr. said, how's it going, Marlo and Trey? Long time no see. Oh, everything well, bro. Been busy, man. Hella busy. Got a good some good fights this weekend though. Should be back on track, man. They on Showtime too. Ain't no apps. So we should be back running right, man. Everything been on the zone. Y'all know we don't rock with the zone. And this weekend, man, just didn't line up for us. Motherfucker was eager to get back, man. But salute to you though, Rodolfo. But yeah, man, did y'all watch that Dogboe fight? That Joey Gonzalez versus Dogboe? I think Joey Gonzalez's experience um, was just the problem in this fight, man. It was a split decision win. I think the right man got the nod after watching it. I watched the replay. I didn't get to see it live because I was peeking in and out. Like I told you, I was running, man. Had stuff to do. But looking at it though, it looked like Joey Gonzalez let Dogboe take control. He was trying to control the outside, but he wasn't as good enough to do so. You know what I'm saying? The common Trey X in the building. Salute, bro.
Gia, what's up with it, my nigga? Salute. What's up,
Salute.
everybody in the chat?
Salute.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fresh off that motherfucking crow.
off that what?
I said, I'm fresh off that goddamn crow, man. We out to a slow start on the channel, Ross. But it's
Oh,
okay, though. Everything's all right.
me and you both on that crow, man. I
Nah,
had baked mines this time, man. It wasn't so bad.
what you ate crow on?
On that Joey Gonzalez Dogboe, right?
I ate crow on that shit, too, man. See what threw me? Oh, my bad. You about to make a point. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I was talking about that fight actually. I was talking about how I felt like Gonzalez's experience was a factor up in there, man. He let Dogboe take control, especially in the early round. He was trying to control the outside, which he really wasn't that good at. Dogboe counterpunching and combinations. Then he also was using the jab to get in the score points. I think Dogboe did pretty good, man, for what Joey showed him. And then later on in the rounds, when Joey stepped it up, Dogboe fought back. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, it was a good fight. And I think the right man got the nod. What you think about it?
We got to say salute to Barry Hunter, too, man, because he did an outstanding job in that fight, keeping Dogboe focused and on point and on his mission. You know what I'm saying? But what threw me off, man, I got to say, too, man, Dwyer, the dude that I've been talking shit about, he fucking nailed this fight. I'm talking about he mentioned the fact that he felt like Dogboe's short stature would give Joey Gonzalez some problems early, and it was going to take him a few rounds to figure him out. And then once he figured him out, he'll be able to go make a tougher, closer fight out of it. But since they was only going, did they go 10 or 12? He might not have said that shit, but I think, did they go 10? I think they went 10 rounds. Yeah, since they was going 10 rounds, he wasn't going to be able to make up that deficit. So he fucking nailed that shit, man. I got to give him credit on that. But what threw me off, man, is because I saw Joey Gonzalez fight against this guy named Santizama. I can't remember his first name. It's a guy that had fought against Navarrete. And that fight against Navarrete was beating the brakes off of him. And the referee had everybody all upset and shit because we felt like he should have stopped the fight, you know what I'm saying? But he's a pretty tough guy. And when he fought against Joey Gonzalez, he was able to stop him, even though it was like a premature stoppage. But I saw that Joey Gonzalez was able to use his jab and still go to the body on the shorter man. So I thought that since he showed that ability in that fight, he would show the ability against Dogboe. You know what I'm saying? But Dogboe is a better fighter than Santizama, even though they're very similar. They shorter guys that throw a lot of combinations and go to the body. But Dogboe, man, one thing about some of these fighters is like he got an amateur background too. Like I like Joey Gonzalez because he was a national champion. He beat Tank Davis twice in the amateurs and all that. But Dogboe was a national champion in his country, and plus he was an Olympian. And they had this man as a better than 2-1 underdog. So yeah, that I shouldn't even been too surprised about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to Champ Ross. What's going down, bro? Hey, man, you need to, Champ Ross, cut me off, bro. Don't let me change no more picks no more, man, because you letting me change too many winners to losers, brother. Every single week you letting me change a pick from a winner to a loser. Salute to Champ, Rod X the Champ. He in the Champ Ross competition this week. Came in barnstorming, got in first place in the first week. You know what I'm saying? So I got to say salute to you on that. J1 Pro Da Vinci in the building. What's up with it? Salute to Big Hen. Where you go, bro? You on mute or something if you was talking?
Nah, I'm over here sharing the video.
Oh, okay.
To the different social medias. Rod X the Champ, salute, bro. Champ Ross, salute. What's happening?
Yeah, Rod X came in barnstorming. I fucked myself out the first week though because I changed my Mark Heffron pick before I sent it to Champ Ross, and then I sent it to Champ Ross and changed my David Jimenez pick. And those two picks right there, they cost me fucking first place. You know what I'm saying? Look at Champ Ross talking about those change of picks are backbreakers for damn show. I'm gonna tell you what messed me up. The first season, I changed picks and I was right about it. So that made me think that was the right thing to do. But since then, I've been shooting myself in the foot every week. So I'm gonna stop doing that shit. I'm just gonna lock it in and let it go. Big Boys Boxing, what's up with it?
What's going on, boys? Hope you're all well.
Salute. What's happening with it, bro?
Yo, it's interesting weekend of boxing, wasn't it? I like that that other fight, that Gabe Flores and what's his name, Giovanni Cabrera fight. That was a good fight too.
It was, and I ate crow on that shit.
I ate crow on the Champ Ross, but I bet on Cabrera on the backside, so that was good for me.
Yeah, when Cabrera, when I looked at his fights in the past, he didn't show me nothing. He stands straight up. He got his chin in the air. It looked like his power wasn't worth a fuck. See, but one thing about this fight, though, that I didn't consider, I did consider it, but I should have put more thought into it. This was Flores' first fight at 135 with no acclimation process. He ain't never took punches from a true 135 pounder in a real fight. He went out the first shot he took, he went down. I think that he might have still lost, even if he had like an acclimation fight. But I think he would have did a little bit better because I think that shit shocked the shit out of him.
Yeah, I think that fact flew under the radar for many people. I just happened to pick it up before I made any bets, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, well, he's not a huge puncher at 130 anyway, was he?" Gabe Flores, so I didn't think he could do too much damage to Cabrera. But like you say, Cabrera usually boxes on the outside and very tentative. There's a bit of a shock that first 7 seconds knockdown. Had me squirming on my unanimous decision bet. But well done to the man.
Yeah, I picked Cabrera on that one. Hey, but what y'all think about the Danny Garcia fight though, man? Danny Garcia versus Benavidez. How y'all see that playing out, and who y'all got?
Man, that shit tough for me, bro. It got so many fucking variables in the fight. Like I got Danny Garcia, naturally small type of guy. Even though he actually's never fought below 140. I don't know why I thought I saw him fight at 135, but I looked on box record. I didn't see nothing below 140. But he going to 154. He hasn't fought since 2020. His last fight was against Earl Spence, and he going against a naturally bigger man. In his first fight at 154, a guy that got an amateur background and shit himself. He was 120 and 5s, won several national championships. Danny Garcia was 107 and 13, several national championships. Both of them like a 3.5 on my scale. This guy got a fucked up knee. He got shot in his knee 6 years ago. He didn't look good in his last fight. He probably should have lost in his last fight. And that same guy that he should have lost to just got his ass knocked the fuck out by Hamza Shiraz in the UK a couple of weeks ago. So you know he ain't worth a fuck. And this dude almost beat Benavidez, but he was coming off a layoff himself in that fight. And now in this fight, he ain't fought since 2021. So I think the last time he fought was like 8 months ago or something. So he coming off a bit of a layoff in this fight. It's kind of hard for me to call it, man. Like I want to say I'm gonna take the naturally bigger man. Because Danny Garcia, he done showed me that he a good fighter, but I don't know if he just like a upper echelon motherfucker. It looked like he right below that. Every single time he fight against somebody elite, he lose. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he showed me a solid B-level type guy. So it's kind of hard for me just to assume that he just gonna go up and just beat a guy like this, man. I'm really leaning toward Benavidez, man. I'm leaning toward Benavidez.
Man, it's hard not to being the bigger man. I agree. But personally, I'm going to take Danny Garcia by decision on this one. But I don't have a lot of faith in it. I just think he's going to be a little bit quicker. I think he's got a bit better punch variety. But if he gets hit by that bigger man flush, he could be in some real trouble. So I think it's a legit 50-50 fight.
So you riding with Garcia?
Yeah, man. Tentatively.
I'm probably one of us gonna be serving each other crow, man. I already put my picks in, and I most definitely picked Benavidez. I think he definitely got the advantage. I think he's gonna be way more comfortable at 54. I think Danny just a little bit disadvantaged, and he's the perfect match for him. He ain't gonna be running around, dancing around, and using nothing special. He gonna be right there in front of him trying to counter. And Benavidez is real long. He work off the jab. I think the uppercut gonna be there for him, especially the right hand. This fool ain't elusive. Garcia ain't elusive, man. He like to be aggressive. He like to get on the inside, and he like to catch you with hard, clean counter punches. He don't like to get busy and rough and none of that kind of stuff. Real simple, and he's right there in front of you. I think that's perfect for Benavidez. I think he ain't gonna have no problem with that leg. He have a problem with the motherfuckers that move around. That's gonna wear that leg down towards the later round. But I think he got. I think it's a potential stoppage first stoppage for Danny Garcia at this weight too. Picked him by 10th round, and I picked Benavidez by 10th round stoppage.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward Benavidez by decision. I do know that. Oh, go ahead. You about to say something?
Nah, I'm trying to go on mute.
Okay. Yeah, I went on ahead and took Benavidez by decision. I think Danny is pretty durable. He done showed that in the past. I done seen him take some monster shots from some guys. So I'm gonna give him a chance to go the distance, but I won't be too surprised because I saw the same. If he gets stopped, I won't be too surprised because I said the same thing about Jesse Vargas when he went up and fought Liam Smith at 154. And I was like, well, you know, Jesse pretty durable. He done showed me that in the past, and you were like, shit. I think Liam Smith might stop his ass, and you ended up being right. I won't be too surprised if we go out there and stop the guy, man. Like Danny Garcia, one time Lawrence Williams, I was listening to him not that long ago, and he was talking about when Danny Garcia fought against Zab Judah at 140, and he was able to have some footwork, legs and stuff. And I saw the same thing when Danny Garcia fought against Lucas Matisse back in the day. But typically when you go up in weight, your legs ain't quite the same. You know what I'm saying? He kind of slow down a little bit. So since he went from 140 to 147, he hasn't been doing as much moving. So since he going from 147 to 154, I expect the movement to slow down even more. So yeah, I'm leaning towards this guy, man. I won't be too surprised if we end up being wrong and eating crow because this fight got so many variables in it. But I think I got to go with Benavidez on this one. Salute to Charles D. I see you come through there barnstorming early in the chat, Ross, bro. Salute to you. It's a long season though, so don't start celebrating too early, goddamn me.
Hey, Rod X the Champ had an explosive week though, first week.
Yeah,
Salute to
that's
the
the one
champ.
that's the week I changed my Heffron and David Jimenez picks and cost myself first place. I've been kicking myself. You saw Gil Coles was in Discord celebrating and shit.
Hell yeah. That motherfucker, he came in too, right before the day before or something, talking about, man, y'all sleep on Dogboe. Took his ass.
He did. He
Charles D,
did.
salute, bro. What's that?
Little Rock salute. I ain't even see you.
Lil Rock,
If I
salute,
ain't
fam.
said, hold on, I thought I smelled a goat in this motherfucker. My boy El Fenici in the building. What's going down?
Salute, L, what's good, bro? Salute, Lawrence Williams. Salute, L Dub Boxing in the building.
I'm gonna read some comments, man. Chan Ross said don't change your picks are backbreakers for sure. Yeah, man, I've been killing myself. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just be confident in what I know about boxing and stop second guessing myself. You know what I'm saying? Rod, as the champ said, week 2 tripped me up a little bit. Yeah, that shit tripped me up. I ain't really tripping too bad except for one fight. I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is what I think I've noticed. I might be wrong, but I think I've noticed this. When you got a guy that's fighting in somebody else's hometown, it's not as dangerous as what it appears. Like I have seen some robberies and shit. Like when I saw that Signani when he fought against that Presto dude, I think it was in Italy or some shit. It was a robbery in that fight, you know what I'm saying? But I done seen some fights where the hometown guy been losing. Like David Jimenez, he went out there and beat that Sandoval in California. I didn't think he could do it. This guy, William Foster III, he just went and beat Avery Sparrow in his hometown in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? And I got a few more examples in my head if I sit here and think about it. But yeah, that shit don't seem to be as dangerous as what I thought it was. It was another one in San Antonio. I can't think of their names. It was, I think it was that Ford boy, that Southpaw. He got some real good speed. He went and fought a decent amateur guy in San Antonio, and I thought the San Antonio guy might have a chance in his hometown. He went out there and got smoked, and they scored every round damn near for Ford. You know what I'm saying? So that hometown shit ain't as dangerous as what I thought it was. Just pick the better fighter. Fuck where they fighting at. Just pick the better guy. Chan Ross said, I want to ask everyone for next week, should we put Jake Paul Rottman fight on the schedule? Nah, don't put no shit like that on there, bro. Let's go ahead and just keep it 100, 1,000, just straight up boxing, man. We don't need all that confusing shit. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm being selfish because it's I want to take Rockman in the fight. But Rockman is a hard fighter for me to gauge. They say that he got over 100 amateur fights, but when I look at him fight, I don't see that. I see a decent guy, I guess. To me, he seemed like a lazy fighter. Like his style just lazy as a motherfucker. He seemed like he lazy in the gym. He don't get in the best shape. And when he in the ring, he lazy in the ring. Like he'll just throw one jab at a time, then move and shit. He'll make a guy miss, but he don't make him pay all the time. To me, he seemed like the type of fighter that I can't really trust. But I will say, for this fight, it looked like he's taking it seriously. I was looking at his face during the interview earlier today, and it looked like he in some pretty good shape. It looked like he in better shape than what he was going into his last fight. He might go out there and put them hands on Jake Paul. But I will say, from what I've been seeing, if a fighter got a rehydration clause advantage, most of the time that's the fighter that wins. I don't see too many. Go ahead, bro.
Eric R, salute, bro. Spirit of Justice just walked in. Spirit of Justice. The stigma just walked in the building. Salute, bro.
Salute.
Hasim Rahman Jr. lost more fights than he won in the amateurs.
Well, nah, don't go on BoxRec, bro, because they don't keep full records on BoxRec. So I'm sure that's where you got that from. You'll look at a lot of fighters and think they got fucked up amateur records looking on BoxRec.
Nah, it wasn't BoxRec. I looked at it, but I think he's got like a 46-52 record or something like that. I can't remember
Oh,
who told
okay.
me that. Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
I want to watch that fight, but it's only because I want to see a boxer beat this dude up and get rid of him. Sick of the dude.
Yeah, bro, shit. You know, it's smart to follow the money when it comes to boxing, man. So it might be smart to just follow the money. They might have all kind of shit in place for this guy to win. Charles D said Benavidez smokes Danny's boots out here, goddamn me. All right, I'm riding with you. Let's lock in. Little Rod. Charles D said Danny ain't winning no belt at 155. No, absolutely not. I definitely can't see that. Even though I will say the division is getting a little bit smaller. You know what I'm saying? Because it was at one point, think about it. We had Demetrius Andrade in the division. We had Hami Mangia. We had Jamal Charlo. And we also still had like Tony Harrison and Hurd. Along came Fundora. Like it's we done had some history of like some big motherfuckers being in this division, but a few of them have moved up to 160, and then we having smaller fighters like Ismail Madrimov and shit like that in the division. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in the next few years, if some of them big 154 pounders move up, maybe the division will get a little smaller and get more manageable to where fighters like maybe even Crawford and Spence can go up and take over some shit. You never know. Chan Ross, hold on, Chan Ross said Benavidez is getting overlooked. I don't really think he's getting overlooked. I think people just worried about his knee. That's what I think it is. Chan Ross said Benavidez is better than people think. It's too bad his knee will never be the same, but he's still a game fighter. Yeah, he definitely a game. Charles D said picking Yayo brother to smoke his boots. Yeah, Yayo brother. Salute to L Dub. What's up, bro? If I ain't said it to you already. Big Hen said Garcia too small for this weight class. He going to get his bell. I think he is too. You know what I'm saying? But like I said though, man, it seems like I see the division starting to get a little smaller. But I think it's just gonna be tough, man. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. Little bitty 5'8" guy with a 68-inch reach. That's definitely gonna be tough. He probably should have started off with like a fight at 150 or something. Like do what Kell Brook did when he fought against that Michael Zarafa. That was at like 150 and a half or something. He should have done some shit like that instead of just going full 154. Rod X the Champ said, I called that Saraz KO on Champ Ross. Oh, yeah, I had it too. I had Saraz KO in 2 and it ended up being KO in 4. Hell yeah, salute to the block familiar. Charles D said, ain't celebrating, but he said he locked in. He got his eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? Charlie said, I never got to play a full season. We're going to see how it goes this way. Yeah, for sure. Charles D said got the Dogboe split decision, knowing knew it was going to be close. That's a good pick. Gil Cole's got that shit too. He all off in the Discord and shit talking about what you get if you get the split decision and all that shit. Like he don't know how many points a motherfucker get. You know what I'm saying? My boy Eric Carr, salute to you. Charles D said, nah, fuck that fight. What fight you talking about? Spirit of Justice said, salute to you if I ain't said it. He said, I think Dogboe deserved that W, but it was close. I'm not complaining at all about the verdict of the fight. I feel like Joey Gonzalez should have got the workman and used his jab more. When he fought against Santizema, he used his jab a lot more. And I felt like he abandoned his jab in this fight. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely got limitations, though, man. He don't do no counter punching. He kind of like Triple G. Like, if you throwing punches at him, he like to shell up and let you throw your shots. And then when you get done, he want to come back with his shots. And that's not really sophisticated. He a good fighter, but he's not really sophisticated.
He sound like sound like some it's my turn kind of shit. Like
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's my turn. Winston Lee, salute, bro. King of Kings in the building. Salute. What's good with it, bro?
That's exactly what it is. L does said very lazy. Trey, yeah, I think he a lazy fighter in the ring, man. I don't trust the guy, you know what I'm saying? But he seemed to have some dog in him. I mean, the first time I saw him was on that Mayweather shit when that dude from the UK beat up on his little brother, and then they put him in the ring and shit with that dog house rules and all that. And it was like a smoker, what it looked like. They betting on the fight and everything. And he went out there and showed some dog, even though the guy was a naturally smaller man. So maybe we can get that Mayweather smoker doghouse version of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hope we see.
Hey, Coach D Bid 03 is in the building. He out there in Ohio working with this little young little sharp prospect, little youngster, man. Out there on the come up. I think he's number one in the state of Ohio. If I'm mistaken, D Bid said he gonna bring him to the gym.
Man, D Bid OG, man. I thought about you on Saturday. I rolled with your prospect. I rolled with Gabriel Flores. My boy, one time, L Dub, he told me, he said, man, I'm taking Cabrera. I think Cabrera gonna go out there and whoop the motherfucker. I didn't see it in the style, man. The man, his style was just trash to me. But your prospect went out there and let me down, man. I got to looking at that 91-7, 12-time national champion. I got caught up in all of that. That man went out there and got pieced up, man. What's up with your boy, man? Charles D said he better win. He better sleep, Paul, man. I hope he do, man. Represent boxing, man. Don't do us like that, Lil Rock. I mean, he got the lineage, though. The bloodline is what I'm trying to say. Shit, going out there and show us something, man. Charles D, so I switched the bitch from my original, or I switched the bitch from my original thought. I don't know what you mean by that, brother. Elfanie said, any news on Earl and Crawford? I ain't heard none. Have you heard something about some new news about Crawford and Earl?
Nah, I was listening to a little bit of old Bernie, and he was saying, asking the question, talking about why can't this was a title too. Why can't Bud get a 50% gate or some shit like that? Like, so it sounded like something is fishy and is going on with them. They want they want some they want something 50% or something, and I think it's the ticket sales and the concession and all that shit. If I didn't remember well, I was in traffic though.
Okay. Hopefully we get that shit, man. Eric, hold on. Eric R said Danny Garcia don't even have stars on BoxRec. Yeah, they probably got that motherfucker inactive. Like when you ain't fought in a long time, they put that inactive, and then you don't see the stars a lot of the time. L Doug said something Rockman said that had me shaking my head. He said he finally taking boxing seriously versus a novice. That's crazy. Yeah, that's where business. I mean, you would think that his last fight was the fight that he want to start taking seriously. But yeah, you're right, man. If this kid, uh, Jake Paul, if he was in the amateurs, he would be a novice. That would be what he is. You got to at least have 10 fights before you can go from novice to open class. So he would be a novice. Go ahead, bro.
So right now he's a sub novice, huh?
Nah, he
Hey,
ain't sub. He ain't sub novice. Sub novice is like when you have amateur fights, but you don't fight other true novices. That's what Mike Lee did. He was fighting in the Bengal Scouts at Notre Dame, and that was just a tournament to raise relief funds for people in Bangladesh. And they wasn't real boxers, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we call him sub novice.
yeah, I was just gonna say his title was "Why Can't Crawford and Spence Be an even split?" So I don't know why he would make that the title if that wasn't what the holdup was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's square business. L said I heard they trying to make Spence versus Thurman. I ain't heard nothing about no shit like that, man. I'll be very disappointed. I ain't gonna lie. But I know that Gil Coles would be happy as a motherfucker though. Big Hen, man, you gotta throw Big Hen a wrench. He said Marlo Trez. They said Top Rank got the best prospects. What y'all think? Well, shit, I ain't man. Top Rank get cold prospects, man. Top Rank always get cold prospects. It seems like every single I ain't gonna say every single day, but I say maybe once every 2 weeks, I hear about a young prospect signing to Top Rank, like a young, not a prospect, but like a young blue chip pedigree type motherfucker signing with them. They get them young too. They be like 17, 18 years old. Yeah, they had one that fought this past weekend, a southpaw, on the top ranked prospect. Went out there and looked great in the fight. I had looked him up. I can't remember his name, but they said that motherfucker was like the number one amateur in the United States when they signed it. You know what I'm saying? You get people like Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, man, he is a 4.5 out of 5 prospect, like not contender, but pedigree type guy in my book. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and got a silver in the Olympics. He got a silver in the AIBA World Championship. He was top ranked. He going only person that beat him in the amateurs in big moments was that Andy Cruz. That's it. Everybody else, Elner or Breakomoff and all them dudes, Abdurrahman or whatever his name is, Keyshawn taking care of them dudes in the amateur. And they was a lot older than him too. They were like 4 or 5 years older than him. He out there taking care of them. Shakur Stevenson. This man is like 20-1. And I know he ain't no prospect, but he was a prospect at one time. That motherfucker was 20-1 in international competition. Only fight that he lost, he arguably should have won the motherfucker against Robeisy Ramirez. And we just saw what he did in, a month ago or something like that when he fought Abraham Nova. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, man. Top rank, get the prospects. I agree with that. Eric Carr said bullet in the leg versus 6 toes. Yeah, square business. Charles D said top rank got good young talent. Yeah, they always get the good young talent. I'm with you on that. Charles D said Keyshawn, that kid fought Saturday. That kid that fought Saturday from Ohio. The kid that fought Saturday. Yeah, are you talking about the Southpaw? King of Kings, man. God, King of Kings, man. You got everybody feeling like you thinking we some girls or something. Like you just gonna say, fuck what we talking about. You ain't gonna pay this man his money. You don't give a damn what we talking about. You just gonna lay low for a little bit, come back. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But I'm just gonna let you know, bro. We gonna turn the heat up on your motherfucking ass. Every time you come through, we gonna bring up the fact that you need to pay your bill, nigga.
Hey, put some fire emojis for that in the chat for that motherfucking King of Keys, man.
Flame his ass up.
We ain't even see this ass in the Discord, nigga. I ain't been on that motherfucker in a minute. Just check slide through saying good morning at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that motherfucker been laying low, man. Yeah, flame his ass up, nigga. Pay your bill. Charles D said young and looking sharp. Yeah, if you talking about Keyshawn.
Hey, King of Kings, you holding up our 100% motherfucking our word rate, motherfucker. We ain't got no motherfucking bullshit over here, man. You holding it up, brother.
Everybody is square business, man. At least put a payment plan together for the man or something, man. You know what I'm saying? This man just say fuck everybody, man. These niggas some sissy. I'm 6'5". I'm a big motherfucker. Fuck these niggas, man. We ain't scared of your big ass nigga. Pay your bill. Goddamn me, pay your bill, nigga. Winston Lee said, what's up with you if I ain't said it to you already? Said, peace to everybody in the chat. Salute to you. L said, I hope Benavidez improves off his last fight. He didn't look good, and I thought he lost. I got Danny by unanimous decision. Yeah, I heard your breakdown. I was talking about how you mentioned how the guy had some good legs when he fought against Zab Judah. I agree with you. I thought that the guy should have lost against I can't remember his name. I know that he got knocked out by Hamza Shiraz, though. I thought he should have lost that fight. But the guy is a little bit bigger and stuff. It looked like he might be able to cover a little bit more range than Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, short guy, got short arms, short legs. What take that one guy one step, it might take Danny 2 steps to get away from the motherfucker. So that's what I'm looking at, man. I don't know if at 154, if Danny gonna have the ring coverage that I need him to. You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna like at least towards the end of the fight, I think he gonna have to be more in front of this guy. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see though, man. He might go out there and box a clinic on the motherfucker like you predicted. Big Boys Boxing said, watch Kaneki get matched for volume, but beaten by skill versus Demarison. Good fight though. That shit ain't no good fight. That's a mismatch. Man, Kaneki, all he did, what that motherfucker Kaneki did, I think he won the New York Golden Gloves. I think he had about 20 or 30 amateur fights or something like that. And he going against a decorated motherfucker. I think Demarison is an Olympian, and he fighting against people like Filip Ergovic in the amateurs, and that's who Kaneki about to go against. Who I think did them a reason? I think he only got beat by F.A. Ajagba. I think F.A. Ajagba was a goddamn Olympian. This motherfucker Reason is on another level. I'm talking about we got a worldwide Olympian type guy going against a local guy, a local club fighter type guy. And what I'm saying, I could say this, I could say it loud because I predicted that Robert Helenius, the Nordic Nightmare, I thought he was gonna beat Kaneki the first time. Robert Helenius, he was 101, 38-5 as an amateur. And I just felt like he was just on another level than Kaneki. And I picked that shit on the Champ Ross too. That shit's in the archive. That's in writing. Trey X officially picked Robert Helenius over Kaneki twice. So yeah, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This dude is about to go out here and get smoked, fucking around with them a reason. It might be good early because I know that Kaneki gonna come with he gonna come fight. But I think he gonna get his ass pieced the fuck up. Man, what you think about that fight, bro? Adam Kaneki and Ali Demarizen.
Shit. In its totality, man, I was looking at Demarizen trying to stay away from Kaneki early. Probably being successful. But I was thinking Kaneki probably stopped that boy. I think he due for a decent win to get back on track. I know you definitely called that motherfucking what's the old boy name that beat him twice?
Robert Helenius.
The Helenius. I know you definitely called that motherfucker way in advance. Gave motherfuckers a fair warning. Motherfuckers didn't listen. Yeah, man. I now that you're saying that though, I didn't even look at it like that. I thought Kaneki did pretty decent versus. Would you say Demarizian is just as strong as Helenius?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you who Demarizen remind me of. Demarizen remind me of Andy Ruiz. Like when Demarizen fought against F.A. Ajagba, I saw a correlation between that fight and Andy Ruiz when he fought against Anthony Joshua. You got that short, compact guy who got the amateur background because Andy Ruiz was 105-5, and he going against that big muscular motherfucker with a limited amateur background, but he very talented. I could see that parallel. You know what I'm saying? This guy's very strong, bro. And plus, Kaneki ain't been that active. I don't think he had a fight since Helenius the second time. And then Mariza had a fight not that long ago. He fought against, I think, Rydell Booker. And that motherfucker tough. He only got stopped by Filip Ergovich. You know what I'm saying? So I think the activity, the amateur background, the skills, I think all of that shit is with Demarizen. I think he's going to stop him.
Shit, man. I think I'm gonna be changing my pick to sound like the Derek Bailey salute, bro. What's happening?
Hey, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. That's coming from somebody that's in 36th place on the Champ Ross right now.
Right. You see, I moved up.
Yeah, I see you moved up on the board. You did good last week. You got like what, 6th place or 5th place?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, top 10 on the motherfucker. Let me see where I'm at in the chat. Big Hen, okay, he said he thinks so too, Marlo. He said he agree with you. King talking about salute to the corner. Pay your bill, nigga. Salute to paying your bill. Big Boy Boxing said 18 likes and 22 whites. Hit the like. Definitely will appreciate that. D-Bid OG said number 2 in the country. Too small. Charles D said pick Cabrera to whoop his motherfucking ass. Yeah, man, I should have listened to L Dub because L Dub tried to tell me. I don't. Yeah, man. I watched that motherfucker Cabrera though. And I wasn't impressed with him, man. I think he looked the best in that fight than I ever seen him look. You know what I'm saying? But it looked like Flores just weak as a motherfucker. He wasn't like Big Boy said. He wasn't hitting worth a fuck when he was at 130. And now he going up to 135 with no acclimation process. And also, I didn't give Cabrera enough respect for his amateur background. Cabrera was 60-5 and he won the Chicago Golden Gloves. I know that shit sound regional, but that's actually one of the most respected versions of the Golden Gloves. That's where the history comes from. Like when you get the historical fighters back in the day, they was winning the Chicago Golden Gloves. So it's a lot of history in this tournament. And he ended up moving to Mexico and he won a national championship in Mexico. I gave more to what Flores had going on, but what Cabrera had going on was pretty goddamn respectable too. A 3.5 on my scale. So I should have gave that motherfucker more credit going into the fight. I underestimated him and I paid for that shit. Big Boys Boxing said, to be fair, Cabrera fought more aggressive than usual for the first 5 rounds. Absolutely, he did. L-Dub Abdullah Mason, yeah, that's a southpaw that I was looking at. I can't remember his numbers and shit. I'm gonna have to go look again, get it locked in my mind. But yeah, I looked at the highlights on YouTube though. That motherfucker looked like he got something. You know what I'm saying? L-Dub said, "Is that the young southpaw from last week?" Yeah. I think that's the young southpaw. Yeah, y'all flame his ass up, nigga. Pay your bill. Pay your bill. Salute to Derek Bailey, man. What's up with it? Mayasa said that you've been turning their ass up on them MMA picks. On the MMA champ Ross. Big Boys Boxing said if they got the nod in the competitive fight. Yeah, it was a competitive fight. I think it was like a 6-4 type of fight. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me and Marlo, we called that fight. Big Hen said Garcia will be on his bike the whole night against Benavidez. He can't stand in front of him when he going to sleep. He actually got a pretty good chin. He's pretty durable. So I think that I'm going to take, like, either way, I think I'm going to take a decision in this fight. Like, even if I change my mind and take Danny, I'm going to take a decision. But, yeah, Danny done showed me some durability. He done took some hard shots from motherfucker. Yeah, he was taking shots from Keith Thurman when he was in his prime. So, you know, that motherfucker take a punch. Big Boys Boxing said, I think PBC think the reason will be easy work for Kaneki, like they thought Hellenius was too. Well, I'm here to tell you, tap your neighbor on the shoulder right now and tell your neighbor, this man is not going to be easy work. Them a reason should be the favorite. Man, I pray to God, please let these people make Kaneki the favorite. Please make him the favorite so we can go out there and get a good bet in. John Ross said, Marlo going to change his pick. Yeah, I talk him into some crow every now and then. John Ross said, that's the odds. He said, what's the odds for that? Anyone know? Might be good bet the place. What's the odds? I don't know, man. I ain't seen, matter of fact, when it come to boxing, they don't drop the odds until Tuesday. And when Tuesday roll around, you can go look at Odd Shark or something like that, and you'll start seeing the odds. So I don't know for right now.
St. Cruz and salute, fam.
OG, what's up with it? Derek Bailey saying, yeah, Derek Bailey said Garcia has an excellent chin, but he's going to need it. I think he's gonna need it too, man. Me and Marlo, we both at least leaning towards Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I just like I hear the game plan from like L-Dub and stuff that the guy should go out there and box him. I don't really look at him as like a straight up graceful type of boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like he can go out there and move a little bit because he got 100 amateur fights. I expect you to be able to move a little bit, just like I expect Sean Porter to be able to move a little bit. But I wouldn't expect Sean Porter to go out there and just straight up outbox somebody like for a whole fight. A naturally bigger man at that, I think that's gonna be tough, man. I want to take Danny, man. He coming off a long layoff too. The man has not fought since 20. I think this is a tough spot. Eric Carr said, you said Danny going to be on his bike. That nigga got square wheels. Yeah. He ain't ever been a mover. Nah, he did do some moving. L-Dub said that he was moving against Zab Judah at one. Well, he didn't put all that in there. He just said that he was moving against Zab Judah. And I say that the man was doing some moving in boxing when he fought against Lucas Matisse. One thing that I like going into that fight against Matisse, because I actually picked Danny Garcia to win that fight, is that I like the fact that Danny could fight on the inside and fight on the outside. That's who I felt like he was at 140. But since he done came up to 147, these guys are taller. They got longer reach. He seemed like a different type of guy. He got to get on the inside, and he got to make something happen. He got to land some punches. He can't really go out here and outbox these guys. Because as a matter of fact, when he fought against Sean Porter, a lot of people thought that he was going to outbox Sean Porter. I mean, they said it so much that they talked me off my pick and made me eat crow. Because me and the OGs, like Scrapbook, we had Sean Porter going into the fight. And then I listened to all these motherfuckers on YouTube talking about how Danny was gonna catch him with a hook on the way in, and Danny was gonna outbox him and all that shit. They made me change my pick. Hey, I made a whole prediction video on the motherfucker. Eating crow. So yeah, man, I don't believe in that guy just being a graceful boxer, man. I think he's gonna have problems in this fight. Big Boy said, "Hey man, please let Kanaki be the favorite." Absolutely, man. We need that. For real. Um, Derek Bailey said that Garcia versus Benavidez fight is at 154. Yeah, it's at 154. You know what I'm saying? This guy hasn't had no acclimation process. Like when I've been thinking about fighters that have been moving up in weight and whooping ass, it don't really be like I'm talking about off the muscle, like they go up and fight somebody good. Somebody that comes to my mind is Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford went from 140 straight to 147, and he fought that kid from Australia. What's that boy name from Australia, bro? Horn. He fought Jeff Horn, and he went out there and destroyed Horn in his first fight at 147. But like when I look at other examples, like we just had this Gabriel Flores kid. He just went from 130 to 135. He went up there and got the shit kicked out of him. I had another one in my mind, man. My goddamn mind just went blank. Fuck, it might come to me, man. But overall, we don't see fighters going up, moving up in weight and just being dominant in their first fight. That's why they get an acclimation fight. You know what I'm saying? This kid ain't got now, so that shit gonna be hard, man. Eric Carr said he gonna have to break Jose down systematically. He ain't no Crawford. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking. So when you think about this fight, bro, you think that Danny just gonna be right there in front of him, and he's just gonna be getting teed off on by this motherfucker?
Well, I don't think he's gonna just be standing there like that, but it's gonna be difficult for him to get away. And if he want to score, yeah, he's gonna be right there. He's gonna be right there looking for a counter while this dude's sticking him with that jab, coming with that right hand. Then he just right for the picking, man. I'm just talking about they stat far as they style go. I don't see him able to. I mean, like if you look at the Benavidez versus Crawford, I think Crawford more athletic and more quicker than Danny, and Crawford had trouble with Benavidez early on when he was 100% far as speed and durable with that knee. He was able to have success, and I don't think Danny is even close to that kind of athletic where he's gonna be able to get up out of get in and get up out of there. Um, I don't know you, Snack Hannibal. That link is only for our subscribers, man. The people that come through in the chat, that interact in the chat. I don't know you. I forgot, lost my whole train of thought. Nigga named Snack Hannibal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't think Danny gonna be able to do all that, man. I think when he scores, he's gonna get scored on. I don't think he's gonna be able to have successful counters. I think old boy too long. I don't think he's gonna sit up in there long enough. But shit, I could be wrong, man. I don't get him right all the time. But I don't see Danny able to win those exchanges, man. When he do get up in there and look to score, I think it's gonna be Benavidez that's gonna be way more busier, and that's gonna find himself being respected early on in the fight, which is gonna put him on the back foot. Easy to score.
When I was looking at Danny train on the video, I think it was yesterday, his body looked like it was pretty saturated. And that just made me start thinking, like, what's the reason that he moving up in weight? Because a fighter, a lot of time they move up in weight because they outgrew a division. But this ain't the case with Danny. Danny could really still be at 147, but he can't beat the top guys at 147. And the younger guys that's coming up, he don't want to be a gatekeeper for them. So he went up to 154 because he think his greener pastures up there. So I don't know if he moving up for the right reasons. Like I said, it's not like he outgrew the division. This is a true 147 pounder going up to fight a naturally bigger man at 154 in his first fight, coming off a 2-year layoff. No acclimation process. Yeah, I think I got to go with Benavidez, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
I think
well,
it's gonna
man,
be, I think it's gonna be tough for him too, man. I think it's gonna be tough for him. I think that fight, if I ain't mistaken, LW, if you still in the building, wasn't that fight that sloppy looking fight from Benavidez? Wasn't that his first fight at 54? Wasn't that his head starting to 54? Or was it his last fight at 47?
it might have been his first fight because he was coming off like a 3-year layoff. Like I think that was his first fight since 2018, and that was probably against Crawford.
Yeah, his last fight was probably than that one, and he didn't look real good. I agree with him, but I didn't know was it at 47 because he don't never look good, especially going late into the rounds. He slow down. That knee get to wearing down like 7. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 6. So if you keep him coming to you, moving around up in that motherfucker, that's the quicker that knee gonna get tired and more than. You know what I mean? And that's where you're gonna get catching, man. That's what Crawford wore that motherfucking knee down. Made him chase it. You know what I'm saying? Made him move around in that ring. Made him turn around. Made him use that motherfucker all different kind of ways. Tested that bitch, and then ended up catching him with like an uppercut type of punch towards the later rounds when he was way more vulnerable and that motherfucking leg wasn't as quick as it was early. Because early, the boy got hands, you know what I'm saying? It's there. He using it. He wearing that bitch down early, trying to get a knockout. You know what I'm saying? To get you to respect him, get some early leads. But like I said, that's why I think Danny gonna have an issue at. He gonna start late. He gonna be down 3 rounds, maybe 4 rounds, 3 rounds to one somewhere up in there, and it's gonna force him to have to sit down, man, and take a little more punishment to even stay in the fight, man. I don't see him winning no early rounds when the guy's hella durable and hella, you know what I'm saying, power already. At least he had one fight at 54, but he already had respectable power. You know what I'm saying?
You got a decent jab and shit too. And plus another thing, like to piggyback on what you said when you was talking about Crawford returning that motherfucker. Crawford is also fighting out that southpaw stance a lot in that fight too. And when you a southpaw going against an orthodox fighter, you can really make them angles an issue. When you got orthodox going against orthodox, the angles ain't really as much of a problem because the guy's gonna be more in front of you just off the dynamics of the stance matchup. Like Lomachenko, southpaw, his angles is crazy. He's southpaw going against the orthodox fighter. Step around the lead foot, get to the dorsal side. You ain't got to worry about that shit when you got another orthodox fighter in front of you. So I think that for Benavidez, Danny Garcia is a simpler type of matchup than Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And then like St. Cruz and what he just said. He said, well, I missed that shit. Did I skip it? I know he said something about that motherfucker being a small welterweight. Yeah. He said, his no look left hook is Garcia best weapon. Danny is a small welterweight. So he a small welterweight. And then he going up to 154. So if he was a small welterweight, he an extra small 154 pounder, 5'8", 68 and a half inch reach. Like Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a naturally bigger man than Danny Garcia. When Kell Brook was talking about going to 154, I didn't think he could do it. So if I didn't think he could do it, why the fuck am I supposed to think that Danny Garcia can do it? Maybe I'm missing something, man. But hey, shit, we just gonna have to see about this one, man. I can't get them all right, like you said, bro. We can't get them all right here. We got to get one wrong every now and then. I guess they done found the right matchup.
Right. It's definitely confusing, but let's just look at the styles. Let's forget about the bigger guy and the dynamics of it. It's the style. Danny is a patient counterpuncher. He ain't no busy guy that works the jab and score points off a combination type of guy. He want to score single points here and there. You know what I'm saying? He mixes it up. He's real slow as far as it goes, as far as his hands and his activity in the ring. Then you got Benavidez who works off the jab. You know what I'm saying? Who likes to use that jab to set up shots as far as that right hand. He likes to go heavy, shoot uppercuts, clean uppercuts. He like to go to the body and shit like that, working off the jab. So you know what I'm saying? This a style that if we looking at the styles, you know, I would favor Benavidez anyway, but Benavidez didn't have one leg. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the style. Like Danny ain't no mover and shaker like that. You know, if anything, he gonna be backing up, trying to stay away from you. You know what I mean? Keep his distance. He ain't gonna be trying to come up in there and use no type of angles to have you working or moving. You know what I'm saying? Changing direction, have you turning around, working anything. You know what I mean? Unless that's what we gonna see. I'll be impressed if I see that. But for far as what we know from Danny Garcia, he gonna be coming up in there looking to counter, trying to score big counter punches, whoa the crowd. You're not gonna come up in there and actually box and work off the jab and set up nothing. So that's where I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Like he do got some advantages. The dude do got a half a knee. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of wounded. The knee do wear down in the fight. So if he can take advantage of those motherfuckers, um, that's just something we gotta see.
That's a great point that you just brought up. Like Danny, he don't really he not the type of guy to just set up his own offense. Like you're right, he play off his opponent. He a patient counterpuncher. That's the word that you use. Like if you look at Terrence Crawford know how to set up his own offense. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, Terrence Crawford lighting your ass up with 3-4 punch combination. How you over there looking at this shit like woo, 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 just lighting your ass up. I don't remember the last time I said woo when I looked at Danny Garcia. I would say that every now and then when he was at 140, but since he been at 147, he ain't gave me no woo moments. You know what I'm saying? Where you just out there lighting the motherfucker ass up, shots going off on his ass like the 4th of July. Like, God bless the dead, Roger Mayweather used to say. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Shots going off on your ass like fireworks. Danny ain't really like that. He like a powerful counterpunch motherfucker. He'll trade 3 punches to give you one. Earl Spencer step in, put a 3-punch combination on him. Danny Garcia answer back with a single right hand to the body, and that's it. He's very economical with his punches. He's not the type of guy that's going to go out there and throw 70 punches around. He's going to go out there and give you 40, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something economical. He kind of plotting in a way, in some ways at 147. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good point that you made, bro. This ain't no Crawford type motherfucker that's setting up his offense and letting them hoes go. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. Yeah, I missing. Let me see where I'm at. Eric R, you're gonna have to break Jose down systematically. I think I read that Big Boys Boxing. Yeah, Jeff Horn. Eric R said you take the left hook away, and it's gonna be a long night. Derek Bailey said, I'm mad as hell I picked Flores on the channel. Right? Yeah, I picked Flores, bro. I don't even know why you brought that shit up again. Man, I'm so glad, man. Like last weekend, I couldn't call the fights because I got to find another device so I can call the apps and shit. I thought the fight was going to be on TV, you know what I'm saying? But it was on the ESPN Plus app. I ended up being happy because that was going to be a bad night for me, nigga. I'm off of here eating crow on everything. Like I had this was since we've been betting, we've been doing this shit for 10 weeks. This is the first week that I had where I got everything wrong, pretty much. The only thing I was able to have a Dwyer moment because I had a hedge that held. Because I had bet that Avery Sparrow could get the decision in Philadelphia, and I had it hedged with William Foster III by decision, and the hedge held. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, everything else was over. I went over for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have that many fights. I will say, if we would have had the Eastern European card that was supposed to take place with the Kudinoff and all the motherfuckers, I probably would have had a chance to be profitable. But I definitely got my ass kicked this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? Big Boys Boxer said, speaking of Horn, his brother just had a good scrap with Tim Tszyu, little brother. Didn't expect it to go long, but went the distance when Nikita Tszyu winning. Yeah, I think that shit was like 2 weeks ago or something like or maybe that was last week. That might have been when I had started my week off bad because I had that Chanel Dargan chick. I had her fight going the distance, and then she fought this woman named Jessica Sims or something like that. Now she didn't fight her. She fought her the fight before, and the Jessica Sims chick fought somebody else, and I had they fights both going the distance, and I parlayed them and went out there and lost that shit. 2 women's fights. Think about that. One fight was 4 rounds, 2 minutes. The other fight was 5 rounds, 2 minutes. Neither of the women had ever scored a knockout. Like all 4 women involved in the fights never had a knockout. And all they had to do was go a total of 9 2-minute rounds, and I win the bet. Motherfucker went out there and got knocked the fuck out. Eric Garcia said that's all I can see because Jose got stupid range. He'll have to keep Jose moving and make that knee become a problem and then go for broke. I'm with you on that. And I also think to myself in this fight, who has to come to who? And when Marlo was talking about that shit, it made me start thinking. I mean, just like it's been what it's been at 147. These guys are bigger. He has to come to them for the most part. I think it's the same thing with this situation. He has to come to Jose, and he's going to have to get through the jab. I don't really know Danny Garcia to be a bob and weave type of guy. I don't really know him to be in at the waist and get his head off the line. I know him to be more of a stand up straight type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He got good boxing skills and stuff, but I don't see him bobbing and weaving and shit. So I don't really know how he gonna get closer to a naturally bigger man with a longer reach.
No Face Boxing, salute, fam. MZ, salute, bro. What's happening?
OG. Yeah, I was just telling everybody how I fucked all our money off this past weekend, but we're gonna come back with some this weekend. Eric also, that's okay. I read that. Eric Cooper, salute to you. Big Boys Boxing said, can Billum Smith stop Chamberlain? Man, I'm leaning towards Chamberlain in the fight. Chamberlain went out there and won one of them Herring League cups over there, man. That's one of their prestigious tournaments from what I was reading. He went and won first place. He was only like, 26-2 amateur. That damn Billiam Smith dude, he was only 32-11, and he ain't never won nothing. He was coming in second place and shit. He was he came in second place in one tournament that I saw. He was a runner-up. Both of them are tough as fuck, man. Like I think it's a lock that this fight should go the distance. You know what I'm saying? Both of them showed me something because Billiam Smith, he went the distance against that Richard Riaporte dude. That motherfucker knocking people out. I took Fabio Torchi just to go the distance against Riaporte. He took a body shot and was out of there. You know what I'm saying? That dude tough. And Billiam Smith went the distance against him. So he showed me that he tough and he got durability. And then that motherfucker, what's the other dude named Isaac Chamberlain? He went the distance against Lawrence Okoli. And you know Lawrence Okoli knocking out everything over there in the UK at cruiserweight. You get in the ring with him, he knock you in the next week. And this dude went the distance against him. So that showed me both these dudes are tough, they game. They got Isaac Chamberlain as the underdog at like plus 145. I'm gonna take Isaac Chamberlain by decision and see what happens. They might give me 3-1 odds, and I think that's pretty good odds. So I'm taking Isaac Chamberlain. Eric Carr said, now I don't think it's going to be like Fundora and Lubin, but I do think, like Marlo said, it's going to be a problem for him to get off and get out the way. Yeah, but that also still puts it in the realm of Fundora versus Lubin. That's what he had problems with this big motherfucker. You get off, but you can't get away clean because you can't get away from the big guy. Only thing is, this guy, he don't have the legs like Fundora because Fundora ain't got no injury. So that might be the difference. But it's still like that taller, longer guy, and you got the shorter guy that got to try to outbox him. If you look in the history of boxing, that shit's hard. I always go back to Sandy Sadler when he was fighting against Willie Pep. Same type of thing, man. You got this small boxing type motherfucker going against this tall, long type dude with power and shit. That shit tough, man. Even Shakur Stevenson, when he fought that Nakatila, I know he went out there and outboxed the guy and won, but Shakur Stevenson said, man, that was a pretty goddamn tough fight. That motherfucker was hitting hard. And we seen what Nakatila did to that goddamn 130 pounder would that be out there moving and shit and throwing them combinations. What's that motherfucker name? He got knocked out by Oscar Valdez. I can't think his name, but Nakatila went out there and knocked his ass out. So he showed us that he a quality fighter, you know what I'm saying? Derek Bailey said Danny ate his way out of 147. I don't know if he ate himself out. I think that he just don't want to be, he can't beat them guys at the top. He done already showed that. He done proved that. And he don't think he ain't trying to be no gatekeeper for no Boots Ennis, Stan Jonas, Even the other guy that was 392-8 amateur, Butayev, he ain't trying to get in there with them type motherfuckers, man. So he said, fuck it, man. I think it's greener pastures up here.
And also, this motherfucker will be probably the favorite at 54 for most of his fights until he touches like a Charlo or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a money play. Also, the motherfucker lied talking about because he was a tune-up. He he was a tune-up for Earl and couldn't fuck with Earl. You know what I'm saying? Coming off a layoff like that, and he talking about the weight was a problem, which I didn't think that it was a problem for him. I think it was this competition that was the problem for him. But now when he move up, he gonna have a whole new dynamic of problems because everybody gonna be bigger than him. It was already that way at 47. A lot of motherfuckers was bigger than him, stronger than him. You know what I mean? So I think he put himself in a whole nother predicament. So he gonna be losing to some motherfuckers that he probably ain't even know who they is, man. When he get up there, because I think it's gonna be a big difference in power, man. A lot of people comfortable at 54. A lot of people, and then again too, Benavidez was a big 147 pounder. He wasn't no little ass 147 pounder, man. He probably was one of the biggest.
I'm with you. And when I compare Danny Garcia to like other small guys in the division, I don't see the same type of explosiveness and shit from him. Like when I look at Brian Castaño, like go look at Castaño when he fought that Brazilian southpaw. I can't think of his name. He just went over to Russia and he lost to this guy named Kurbanov. Patrick Teixeira. That motherfucker Brian Castaño was leaping in with some strong ass punches. I'm talking about coming in with the hook going to the body. I'm talking about with some explosive looking shit. You could hear the punches too. Maybe it wasn't no crowd in there or something. I know them hoes was sounding off when he was landing the motherfuckers. Man, I don't see Danny like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't compare Danny to Madrimov. I think Madrimov more explosive. I just don't see it with Danny, man. But hell, I might be wrong, man. We'll see. Big Hen said, I got a feeling Danny going night. It's kind of hard for me to say that. But like I said earlier, I didn't think that Jesse Vargas was going to get stopped by Liam Smith. Marlo did. And Marlo think that Danny is going to get stopped by this guy. I'm going to still say that Danny going to go the distance. But I guess I can't be too surprised because in this situation before, I'd have been wrong. Eric Garcia, I think Danny is embarrassed being Earl's tune-up. He said weight was the reason, so now he got to wear that jacket. But how you come from 140 and outgrow 47 before Earl? Yeah, it's bullshit, man. It's not that often that you see a 5'8", 68-inch reach motherfucker that's too big for 47. It's pretty rare. You know what I'm saying? Like even Brian Castaño, I look at him, I'm just like, damn, bro, you sure you couldn't have made 47? You know, I mean, you're a small guy at 154. You holding your own, handling your business, but god damn. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you like what, 5'7" or 5'8" or something? I would have had to get down to 47, man, in the pros. Them motherfuckers too big. Eric Carson, I don't think Danny gets stopped. I think he gets the Peterson treatment. They squeak him by and feed him to Mel or one of the other top guys at 154. So I was thinking that like they don't really need Danny at 154. There's plenty of competition at 54. 54 is one of the best divisions in boxing. So I didn't really think they needed him to add depth to the division. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was just doing this shit because he just felt like he can't beat the motherfucker. Salute to my boy Napoleon Armstrong, man. Goddamn state. Hang tight with me, man. Hang tight with me. I know we had a tough week last week. My boy Napoleon, he been gambling with me and shit, man. We had a tough week. I told y'all I went out there and went over. He said, peace to everybody driving and listening in. Salute to you. St. Cruz and said, you got it right. Daddy is avoiding the top welterweight. I don't think he wants that smoke with them up-and-coming youngsters. I don't think he worried about Earl and them no more because they don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? But Jerron Ennis, like I was saying this shit like maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years. I don't know, probably 2 years. I was saying I want to see an all Philadelphia showdown with Jerron Ennis and Danny Garcia. I thought that would be a step up in competition for Ennis. Get him like a big profile type fight in his hometown. That shit would have been good. It probably would have sold out. I mean, that'd be good for him. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that shit would have been player for somebody like Ennis, but I know Danny don't want them type of fights. Big Boys Boxing said Canelo got almost the same dimensions as Danny Garcia, and he been champ at 175. I don't think 154 is too much of a reach technically, but he built different though. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo, I know he fought at 147, but he was a pretty young guy. You know what I'm saying? How old was Canelo when he fought at 147? About 15, 16 years old or some shit. He pretty young guy, but he built different. Like, just look at Canelo. Just look at the motherfucker. I mean, that motherfucker Canelo is a strong built dude. I mean, it's been some people that fought at like 175. Like we talk about Montel Griffin. Montel Griffin fought at 175, but that don't mean that every motherfucker can do it. Yeah, we talk about Sam Langford going from 135 all the way to heavyweight. Everybody can't do that shit, man. Dwight Muhammad Cowie. That's one of my favorite fighters because I think he the best short jabber. Him and Mike Tyson, both of them some great short jabbers, you know what I'm saying? But he was a short guy. He fighting at cruiserweight. But that don't mean that I think everybody can do this shit like this. Danny Garcia, he wasn't even like St. Cruz said. Danny Garcia was a small welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't no goddamn Roberto Duran. No goddamn body like that, man. I mean, he a decent fighter, but I give him like a solid B. I don't think he like an A-level fighter that's moving up. Like we talk about a lot of these other fighters, them motherfuckers A-level fighters moving up. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Leonard and all them kind of people moving up. Thomas Hitman Hearns, that's A-level. We talking about somebody that's B-level moving up.
And these motherfuckers these days they ain't moving up and fighting the top guys like you mentioned Duran and motherfuckers like that, Sugar Ray. These motherfuckers is moving up and fighting. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the motherfucking pack kind of guy. Like Canelo, he fighting secondary belt holder. You know what I'm saying? He ain't fighting the top guy. He going to the weakest link. You know what I mean? To pick out the bunch. So it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Than the motherfucker going up there and actually fighting the best guy at the division and winning. You know what I mean? Or taking a shot at that guy, either taking the L or winning. Now, motherfucker sizing the motherfucker up, trying to beat. Oh, I definitely can beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? He got this belt. Let me go up there and get this belt. When you normally would like to see the guy go up there like and fight the top guy, like motherfuckers want to see Earl Spence go fight a Canelo. Like a lot of people were saying that, or like Bud was saying, if he do go to 54, he want to fight Charlo or some motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Those are the kind of fights that motherfucker really want. Motherfucker don't be wanting no motherfucker just be moving up and cherry picking. You know what I'm saying? One fight though is cool to get yourself acclimated to the division, but moving up and picking your fights around there, moving around, that's a different ballgame.
Yeah. Well, man. Oh yeah, too. Big Boys Boxing. Answer this question. And I know I'm talking loud and shit, man. This is just passion, man. I'm on this green, and we just talking boxing. But who would you take out of Sebastian Fundora and Danny Garcia? Or do that even sound funny to you? That I even ask you that question? Like, damn, do you even gotta ask? Because if you don't think that Danny Garcia got action against Sebastian Fundora, I gotta say that he too small for the division. No Face Boxing, salute to you. Said, don't know about Billy Smith stopping Chamberlain, hoping Chamberlain could land a strong points decision to get some climb. I'm taking Chamberlain in the fight. But I will say this, like Lawrence Williams, I was listening to his live stream earlier. That's why I keep saying his name, L-Dub. He was talking about how that motherfucker, it could be a wrestling match in this fight. And if it is a wrestling match, that might favor Billiam Smith. When I saw that Lawrence Okoli versus Isaac Chamberlain fight, I could tell Chamberlain don't like all that wrestling. Okoli, he would get some shots off and then he'll tie the motherfucker up and push him back to the ropes and start wrestling and shit. And I could tell Isaac Chamberlain didn't like that. He was getting a little frustrated with that. So if Billiam Smith make it a rough physical fight and push him back to the ropes, I think he got a chance to win. Because I think he'll have the advantage in a wrestling match. But if they out there throwing hands, man, I think Chamberlain got action. William Smith is a very basic type of fighter to me. He in a high guard, he stands straight up and he comes straight forward in a straight line. I think that motherfucker Chamberlain can put the jab on him, man. He got a little snappy jab that I was watching him throw. I like when he went out there and stopped that. I can't even think of this dude's name, man. He was a decent amateur though. He got stopped by a body shot, fucking around with Isaac Chamberlain. But I was just looking at that snappy jab. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. It kind of remind me of this guy that I've been watching, and Pavel Sinyagan. That motherfucker get to pop you with that piston-like jab and shit. I like that. So I think he got action in this fight, man. I'm taking Isaac Chamberlain. Napoleon said, glad to hear y'all speak the truth about Danny. Porter is slightly better, and both are Thurman leftover. That's why I give people hell talking that heavy lifting shit. Come on, man. They were still at the top of the division, though, bro. I would still favor them fighters over what's that sorry motherfucker name, man? I be making fun of Crawford for beating him for undisputed. The guy that got knocked out, like in the next 5 fights, he got knocked out in 4 out of 5 fights in like 2 rounds. Regis Prograis just went out there and just straight demolished the man. Julius Ndongo. I still favor them guys over Ndongo and all of that bullshit. So if Earl beating them guys wasn't heavy lifting, Crawford ain't done no heavy lifting his whole career. Because even when he beat Porter, Porter ain't heavy lifting according to what you're saying. So even his best win ain't worth a fuck. This man ain't done no heavy lifting. At 147, 140, this motherfucker ain't done Nathaniel. No Face Boxer said, grateful for the late night boxing talk, gents. Love from the London Night Shield. Goddamn, we appreciate you coming through, gent. Pecos Bill said, family, I miss you guys. Yeah, we appreciate you coming through, OG. We got to come back with something this week. Big Boys Boxing said, I fell over with my bet on that woman's fight in RC2. Yeah, that's Chanel Dargan. She an interesting woman, though. I saw that she was on that damn talent show that y'all got where they be getting up there singing and shit. I can't remember the name of it. It's kind of like American Idol type shit. And she was up there singing. She could really sing, man. She a beautiful woman, too. She was looking good in the motherfucker at that little weigh-in. Goddamn me, but she a beast, though. She went out there and won her leg. The other chick, the other woman that was on my parlay, that Jessica Sims, she was tough as a motherfucker because when she fought against Chanel Dargan was putting them bees on her. I'm talking about, I know the fight was a draw, but them first 2 rounds, I thought Dargan was going to knock her out. But this chick kept on coming. And she said that was her first fight in like 3 years. So I'm like, okay. So if she just had that fight, she probably going to be better in the next fight. She went out there and got stopped in 2 rounds. I'm talking about, nigga, I was shocked. Ain't bullshit. All right, we get with you, No Face Boxing, man. Appreciate you coming through. He said, Pecos Bill said, you still got a winning record with me, Trail. Yeah, I got a winning record overall. I mean, I'm still in their money. So yeah, they got me last week. All they did was get some of their money back. Shit, they got a little while to go. Big Hen said Benavidez is bigger, stronger, and he hit harder, but Garcia is faster and a better boxer. I guess I agree with you on that, even though I don't look at him as just being a real fast guy. I thought Sean Porter was faster than him. You know what I'm saying? But for 154, he might have some decent speed. We're gonna have to see. No Face Boxing said real report hashtag London got hands of Coley, all right. He a bit of a spoiler, hug and drag it out of your game. Yeah, I don't like all that wrestling and shit he do, but he'll knock your ass in the next week. Most of the time when I see him fight, he go out there and knock a motherfucker out. And if you the type of fighter that go the distance against him, I can trust you to go the distance against other fighters. Big Boys Boxing said that Chamberlain versus a Coley fight was horrible to watch. Both guys holding and spoiling all night. That's why it went the distance. Yeah, I can see your point in that because I did see a lot of holding and shit, man. But if you can get to the distance against a Coley, man, I got to give you credit. Either way it go, man. That motherfucker, he be knocking everybody out, it seemed like. Pecos Bill said Danny Garcia about to get the brakes beat off his ass at 154. Yeah. Big Boys Box talking about, hold on. He said Danny Garcia every day. Okay, you got Danny? Then you talking about jokes, he got Fundora. Yeah, I thought so. So if it don't take you no thought about it, like you guys to say the man is too small in his division. Like when we think about other fighters fighting against Fundora, for the most part, we don't think about him as being necessarily too small when we think about the top guys. Like we think about Charlo. Do you think Charlo too small for Fundora? What about you, bro? If Charlo fight Fundora, who you favor in that fight? I guess he over there doing something. I asked him when he come back.
You said who I think gonna win?
Yeah, if Danny was the fight, I mean Charlo was the fight Fundora, who you got?
See, I probably pick Charlo. I think he'd be able to stop Fundora, man. I done seen Fundora get hit and put down, so I think I'll pick Charlo in that fight. I think it'd be a tough one though.
I remember you had Tim Tszyu over Fundora too. You
Yep.
still feel the same way?
I don't know. I don't know. Tim Tszyu get caught, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. It's Napoleon said Danny might be a good name for a Lubin comeback or J-Rock. Both have been knocked out, so Danny may do it and get beat the fuck up out there. Eric, yeah, Don go, appreciate you. Big Boy Box said Australia Got Talent is the name of the show. Okay, yeah, that Chanel Dargan chick went out there and did her thing. Eric R said, leading up to the Porter fight, Bud fans said Porter wasn't shit and he was an easy roll when Earl fought him. See what happens when you shit on opposition? You ruin the credit. Napoleon said those guys Bud beat were champs in their division. Oh, come on, bro. You ain't even about to argue me off that one, brother. I'll read it anyway out of respect. He said those guys Bud beat were champs in their divisions. Danny couldn't compete. Most of these guys are names from smaller divisions. That's it. Cream rises to the top. They don't. Let me read that again. I feel slow as a motherfucker. Salute to my boy D-Lo. That's a voice of reason. He said those guys Bud beat were champs in their divisions. Okay, I got that. Danny couldn't compete. Okay, what you mean by Danny couldn't compete? Most of these guys are names from smaller divisions. That's it. Cream rises to the top. They don't. Well, the guys at 147, they were names from smaller divisions. If I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, like Sean Porter never fought at 140. Keith Thurman never fought at 140. They all 147 pounders. Earl Spence too. He ain't never fought at 140. So I don't know what you mean by most of these guys are names from smaller divisions. I know the motherfuckers that Crawford fought at 140. They might have been champs, but that shit was weak as hell. Like, how can I say that you was a great champion, then after you lose the fight, you lose your next 4 out of 5 fights by knockout in 2 rounds or less? That's terrible. It's horrible. Big Boy Box said both women's fights on that card, the underdogs were coming in with records of 0-1 and 1. Gamblers not. Well, I ain't gonna say too much. I know that is one that didn't go my way, but them type of fights have been actually going my way a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we've been doing this 10 weeks, and that was my first week losing. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want to give up the game. Napoleon said, Bud, ruin, man, come on, bro. Going on with all of that, Napoleon. So he ruined a fighter, and they only went about 5 or 6 rounds. All Crawford did was hit the man with 2 body shots. Boom, boom, to the body, and the fight was over. And he ruined the man from that, huh? Going on with that shit, bro. I ain't gonna go back and forth with you on that nonsense today, bro. Yeah, D-Lo, salute to you. No Fake Boxing said Connor being too small for you, man, Jr. on the weight cut, or the weight cut enough to turn the table. Hell yeah, I was just thinking about that fight. If it's a weight cut, man, I might have to lean towards Eubanks Jr. Because when I just look in the history of the smaller man coming down to fight the bigger man, the smaller man get his ass whooped for the most part. Appreciate the super chat for No Face Boxing. Said big up Marlo's Corner. Poor first time listener. I don't know what you mean by that, but we definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you, fam. Salute.
Yeah, man. But when we see the smaller man having to come down and wait and fight the bigger man, the smaller man lose most of the time. Canelo Alvarez, 152, fighting against Floyd Mayweather, went out there and got his ass whooped. That motherfucker Manny Pacquiao was the catchweight king. He going out there draining people like Miguel Cotto and draining Oscar De La Hoya, going out there beating them people up. Andre Ward, he weight drained Chad Dawson. Maybe he wasn't weight drained. It looked like he might have been though. But he went out there and whooped his motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? We sit here long enough, man. We can think of a lot of examples where they have the smaller man come down and weight, and it don't be the same. It's been very few times. Like I remember Sean Porter went down and fought Adrian Broner at 145, and he won the fight. But that's like one of the only examples in my mind where somebody went down in weight and fought the smaller people. But that was until Nonito Donaire came along and started doing what he was doing. Because he went down to bantamweight and he started taking over some shit. But for the most part, when you have that smaller man coming down, the bigger man coming down, the smaller man win the fight for the most part. So I think that favor Eubank Jr. He's gonna be the stronger man in the fight. Who you got? Who you like in that fight, bro? Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know what weight class. He might be at 54.
I think he's gonna have to. I'll probably take Chris Eubank.
I mean, that's conventional wisdom.
Yeah, I think he's the bigger fighter, bigger, stronger fighter. I think if he get rough, I think he'll be able to win the action. He do work off the jab. Conor Benn do like to move around, but he like to come in and I think that style right there. I think Eubanks definitely be the favorite of the coming.
Yeah, he is the favorite. They got last time I saw, they had like Chris Eubank Jr. like minus 168. So he is the favorite, you know what I'm saying? But it's just the weight. Like if it wasn't at 154, I'm looking at Chris Eubanks, but that motherfucker, he been fighting at 168, he been fighting at 160. I think his last fight was against Liam Williams. He went out there and beat him by decision. I think that was at 160. I just think the 154 is going to be too much for him. So I think I like Conor Benn in this fight, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we'll definitely see. Napoleon said Lubin showed Fundora can be crumbled and Mel can be hit. Mel can also be hit, and Fundora definitely going to be throwing them home. Yeah, it'll be a very good fight. I just don't think that the size is going to be too much of an issue for Charlo. Like a real big target for him to hit on, like the opposite of Castaño. You know, Castaño, he was that motherfucker that come to him, but he a shorter guy. So, you know, he ain't got much surface area to go to the body and all that kind of shit. Kind of like Joey Gonzalez struggling against Dogboe. Went out there and I know I went out there and fucked the money off. But he got a big target in this fight. Last time we saw him against a big target, first fight he had a little bit of trouble getting to him like he wanted to. Second fight, he took a half a step back. He let Tony Harrison come to him. Tony Harrison, a big 154-pounder. He's 6'1". He took a step back. He let the bigger man come to him. He had a big target to hit on. He don't have to go looking for Fundora. Fundora coming. It ain't like he gonna take a step back and make Charlo come to him. So Charlo gonna have everything to hit on. And plus, I done seen Fundora get hurt in some fights too. I think I seen Fundora get dropped one time in the fight when he fought against that goddamn Spanish dude. That dude, I think he from Spain, and he went out there and got his ass whooped fucking around with Tony Harrison. It made me eat crow. Because I did take the guy to beat Tony Harrison, but hey, he made me eat that crow. Eric Carr said, I think Fundora beats Tim Tszyu. Tim ain't better than Lubin to me, and I think Lubin could beat Fundora if he stuck to the game plan. Like I've been saying, bro, just the history of this sport. When you got that taller, strong guy, that tall guy with that range, with the long arms, and he a pressure fighter, it's a different type of puzzle. It's different type of pressure. Like Jared Hurd fighting against Esrelani Laura, going against a fucking world beater, AIBA world champion. That's the kind of shit I like. But that constant pressure from that big, tall motherfucker with them long arms, man, that's hard to deal with all night. So I think that should be tough for Lubin regardless. But I'm with you on that, man. I got more respect for Lubin than Tim Tszyu. Erickson Lubin was 143-7. I think he was like a 7-time national champion. It was something like that. But I got that going against Tim Zoo, and Tim Zoo got like 40 amateur fights over there down under. Hell yeah, I'm riding with Erickson Lubin. I think Lubin got better skills, but I think that Zoo got some toughness though. I give him that. That motherfucker pretty tough. Napoleon said Danny best day at 140. He was just a name at 47. Same for Mikey Peterson. Their best days were lower weight classes, but we respected their names. But yeah, when I think about Earl Spence and all them people, I don't even think about no Mikey Garcia and no Lamont Peterson and all that kind of shit. Yeah, they definitely were just names that moved up. But when I think about the other guys like the Danny well, maybe not Danny, but Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Cale Brook, I got respect for that. Big Boy Boxer said would much rather see Eubank versus Andrade. Andrade offering $1 million for Eubanks to take the fight. Man, y'all know I fuck with Andrade tough, man. I like Andrade, but he lost me on this shit right here. I ain't gonna even lie. I listened to that video with him going up talking about Eubanks Jr. Man, we offered you $1 million to fight, $1 million and all that shit. I'm thinking, man, just fight this motherfucker Janibek, man. I mean, me personally, I don't give a fuck about a Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Andrade fight. Like me and my partners, Marlo, everybody on Discord and shit, man, Joseph Brown, my boy Gil Coles, Hyphy here. Nigga, we ain't never talked about no damn Andrade versus Chris Eubanks Jr. fight. We don't give a fuck about that fight. You know what I'm saying? Fight Janibek, man. That's the man that I want to see. We got a battle of 2 AIBA World Championships. Andrade won his in 2007. Janibek won his in 2013. I think that shit is very respectable. Hardcore boxing fans will put some respect on your name for that shit. For right now, you looking like you just want to be a businessman fighter. Like fuck your legacy. Let's just go out here and get the big money fights and all that kind of shit. Now, I understand he is getting up there in age. He don't really have time to sit around doing a bunch of waiting, but it's like, damn, bro. Like, you got to do something. Like, if you can't get the big money fights, at least get you some respect and get you some legacy or something. I mean, you sitting around just wasting away, just fighting bullshit fights and shit, man. Like, man, this shit is really depressing. Because I like Andrade a lot, but man, he lost me on that video.
Man, that nigga Ben lost me just by fucking with his own. I think he signed his own, just like the first contract. This contract is no different to me. Like, you ain't getting none of the big fights over there. You ain't getting the Canelo fight. You ain't getting the GGG fight. Hell, you ain't even getting Munguia. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting nothing but crumbs off the table over there. You know, now he mentioning Benavidez, or Charlo, and like you went to the other side, but another promotional company just to call, use the other people, for the conversation. Ain't like y'all really gonna fight, man. Cause I don't be seeing no DAZN fighters going to PVC. But I don't see no DAZN fighters going to ESPN unless they sign to ESPN. Or they some younger fighters with gatekeeper type of fighters or something. But that's not even heard of. So he's just in a bad situation, man.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at him. Oh, my bad. I thought you were done.
No, I was finishing up saying in a horrible situation.
Yeah, I wasn't too mad at him when he went to DAZN because, it was fights over there. I thought he might be able to get Triple G or get Munguia. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't really be knowing about all that kind of shit. But as far as what he says, I don't like him out here calling out Chris Eubanks Jr. like he Canelo or something. Nigga, go out there and just fight Janibek. That's a very respectable fight, man. It's a fight that you possibly could lose. The odds will be closest. You'll get respect. The people that's knowledgeable in the game, they'll understand what Janibek represents, especially somebody like me, because I'm knowledgeable in the amateur backgrounds. As a matter of fact, like I posted in Discord, nigga, I'm willing to translate different languages to find a motherfucker amateur background. I done that shit several times. Nigga, I'll look up a German article and go through that shit until I find an amateur background. I done that shit with French. It was another motherfucker too. I can't remember what country it was Croatia or some shit like that, nigga. I'm up in there uh, deciphering that shit, nigga, so I can find your amateur background, nigga. Translating different languages to find that shit.
Hey, what can I say? We don't know you, fam. That link is for the people that we know in the chat that come through and interact with us. For people that subscribe to us, we don't know you. No disrespect, but we done had a lot of strange people hop on here, man. So we don't know you. We ain't letting you on, my guy. My bad.
Yeah, get up in the chat, man. Big boy, I read that. D'Lo said Dawson Wade drained his motherfucking self for that fight. Just like Canelo drained himself. He the one that offered that 152 shit so he could uh seal the deal. You know what I'm saying? Close the deal. D'Lo said Porter was dropped by a jab in that fight, though. Yeah, his punch resistance went down, but it was actually a lead left hook. You know, Adrian Broner got them good lead left hooks and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dropped by the lead left hook. Reduced punch resistance. Eric R said, "Damn, I gotta catch the replay. Good night, fellas. Got to get up early. Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. beats Ben. All right, man. I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all gotta do." No Face Boxing said Ruiz versus Ortiz, a 50-50 fight. Man, that's a huckleberry fight for me, man. Yeah, hey, they just gotta get my money. I got a 343-19 guy in Ortiz. He a southpaw. I ain't seen Ruiz out there fighting a lot of southpaws. I know he 105-5 national champion, all that stuff. I got a national champion from Cuba. I know he's 43 years old, allegedly, but heavyweights age better than the small guys. I know that Ortiz was getting dropped by Charles Martin, but Charles Martin is a southpaw. So by southpaw against southpaw, that means that the lanes are opened up for both fighters. If you got southpaw against orthodox, it's not the same. They call that a closed guard fight. So and they call the southpaw against southpaw, orthodox against orthodox, they call that an open guard fight. All the lanes is open. It won't be like that in this fight. I gotta take Ortiz to go out there and outbox this guy. And they giving us plus 250 off the top. I'm gonna take them by decision though. So they might give me like plus 400 or something like that on Ortiz by decision. They just gotta get my money. How you feel about that fight, bro? Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz.
Shit, I like that fight. I think that's a good heavyweight fight. I think somebody get knocked the fuck out. I think it's gonna be Andy, man. I think Ortiz skill level and power is still gonna be there. He might not have the reflexes, but I think that power, skill level, that his mentality, man, his style, everything is gonna be working for him, man. Because Ortiz, motherfucking arm, I mean Ruiz's arms is short as hell. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a problem in there getting those combinations off. And I don't think King Kong gonna let him even, he gonna even let him do that. I think he gonna already know what this guy gonna bring to the table. It's gonna be he gonna set up something. He gonna set up something off the jab, man. That's gonna put him down. I got Ortiz in that fight, man. I think it's a good fight though.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Fuck it, we'll be that Huckleberry. D-Lo said Andrade is my guy, but he ain't short stopping Ben versus Eubank. Goddamn me. Yeah, he got a perfectly good fight, man. He got a fight that they ordering him to fight a motherfucker. Like, man, just go ahead and fight Janibek, man. Go ahead and knock him off and get some respect. Big boy boxer said, I would rather see that fight than Eubank versus Ben. Yeah, you probably look at that as a dangerous fight for Conor Ben too. I know y'all over there, y'all don't want to see Ben get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see Andrade versus Janibek.
Hey, disclaimer: the link is for the fam. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people have been coming that we don't even know, never seen them or interact in the chat or nothing. So if you new, just listening, the link is up there for the fam that come through and support the channel, actually subscribe and interact in the chat with it, so they can have a voice. You know what I'm saying? On Monday, like ain't no disrespect. Don't care what color he is, none of that. We ain't no more trolls gonna come through here and do nothing crazy on this channel. You know what I'm saying? If we don't know you, we just not letting you on. You know what I mean? Ain't no disrespect.
Oh yeah, we done been around the block a few times, man. We done had these trolls come through on that bullshit too many times, man. You know what I'm saying? D-Lo said, I don't care nothing about Janet Beck, but I'm with you. Andre needs to go ahead and fight that motherfucker. Von Alexander gave the motherfucker good work. I don't see why you don't give a fuck about Janet Beck. But I can't. I gotta stop expecting y'all to respect the amateur background. I just gotta stop doing that shit. Like Janet Beck is a fucking 5 on my pedigree scale. Just like Bivol was. See, but at the same time, I remember you didn't give a fuck about Canelo versus Bivol. You weren't even interested in that. And I had to tell you, no, bro, this is a good fight. Bivol this and Bivol that. Amateur background. Woo wop, woo wop, woo wop. And come to find out, Bivol was somebody to be respected. Went out there and knocked off Canelo, gave me one of my greatest moments on YouTube. Went out there and called that shit from the beginning. Bivol gonna whoop his motherfucking ass. Janet Beck is like that. This motherfucker's a 5 on my pedigree scale. Like, goddamn. I mean, I don't know, man. I gotta stop expecting y'all to respect that shit. Where I'm at. D-Lo said it made sense for Andre to be on the zone, but he just didn't get the fights. Look at Charlo's opposition during the same stint. Derevyanchenko is the only solid opponent, square business. Big boy said Janibek is going to be the new Andre, no profile, equal avoider. I mean, the slick southpaws, man. The southpaws, it'd be a problem for them to get the big fights. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's just, you can go back in history, man. Southpaws, it'd be hard for them. Big Hen said amateur background is very important to me, Trex. I feel you. Goddamn, we got to respect the amateur background, man. Most people don't, but it's all good, though. You know what I'm saying? I just got to stop being surprised when motherfucker don't respect that shit. Big Hen said that's why I think Jake Paul will never be a legit belt holder, no amateur pedigree. I mean, it's not 100% required all the time, but if you have a fighter, let's say he only got like 30 amateur fights, and he going against somebody with 400 amateur fights, and he an AIBA world champion. If you pick that motherfucker with 30 amateur fights, your ass is gonna be wrong for the most of the time. But there have been some fighters with limited amateur background. I think Jake Paul might have had one fight. I know his brother Logan Paul had one amateur fight. Jake Paul might have had one. But like that Junto Nakatani dude at Hyphy, like he only got 16 amateur fights. He a good ass fighter. Sometimes you get fighters with deep amateur backgrounds and they don't pan out. Like Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell was 153 and 24, Olympic gold medalist. He was in, I think he placed like a silver medal in the AIBA World Championships. He a solid B-level fighter, but he's not a world beater. Same thing with Jose what's his name? Pedraza, the sniper. Is it Jose Pedraza? But he was a world beater. AIBAs, I'm talking about the Pan American Games, all that shit. He a solid B-level fighter. So it's not an exact science that just because you a 5 on the pedigree scale, you're gonna just be this bad motherfucker. But for the most part, they do be some bad motherfuckers. D-Lo said Ortiz was licking his chops when they said Andy Ruiz. He said Christmas is coming early, so that boy was out there looking like barbecue chicken. D-Lo said they ought to know that shit. Motherfuckers ain't typing in the chat, then trying to come in the back door. Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? But it just be some trolls and shit, man. Motherfuckers probably wanna. They got a new word. It's called porn bombing. I didn't even know about that shit until it happened. It was on MZ Talk Boxing Channel, where he let a motherfucker on the panel and they got up with show like some nudity, and that's called porn bombing. So a lot of these people
they did us like that, man. We had a good ass live stream. We had to erase that motherfucker. Remember?
I thought it was us at first, but since it happened to MZ, I thought I was confusing us with him, but it was both of us.
Yeah, man, they did us like that, man. I said it's over for that shit. Good ass live stream, motherfucker. Put some bullshit on that motherfucker, man. We deleted the whole live stream.
My shit started tripping. Man, can you hear me, bro?
Yep.
My Wi-Fi started tripping, man. Me and my neighbor, man, we gotta get our shit together. D-Lo said, okay, I read that. No Face Boxing said, you guys catch the Catterall versus Taylor. I had Catterall winning. Taylor can win this or too much of a struggle to make the weight. When I first watched the fight, I thought that Josh Taylor lost the fight. But when I went back and watched it again, I had it 113 to 112 for Josh Taylor. I respect Catterall. To me, he looked like a kid that was standing up to a schoolyard bully, and he was very scrappy, but I don't think he did enough to win the fight overall. I think he drew that line in the sand, and if you cross that line, he was going to fight you hard as a motherfucker. But I think that he just went and took something. When I went back and watched the fight again, I gave Josh Taylor more, and that's what made me score the fight 113 to 112. And I still think I was fairly generous to Catterall in the fight with the scoring when I went back and watched it again. I expect Josh Taylor to go out there and whoop his ass in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor was coming off a long layoff in that fight. The familiarity and the motivation with this opponent. And plus, Josh Taylor, when he fought him the first time, that was a homecoming fight. And we done seen fighters have trouble with them homecoming fights. We were talking about Edgar Berlanga. He went out there, struggled in his hometown fight. I think that might have been against Steve Rose. We was talking about Danny Garcia when he fought Mauricio Herrera in Puerto Rico. That shit was tough on him, man. It was other examples that we was talking about too with people with homecoming fights. And Josh Taylor had all of that shit going against him. The layoff, homecoming fight, stylistic matchup too, because Josh Taylor, he does better against tall fighters, like let's say a Victor Postal or let's say a Ryan Martin, than he does against like let's say Ivan Barancic or Regis Prograis. Like the shorter fighters, he don't have as much of a surface area to go to the body. So he prefers to fight the taller fighters with more surface area. So I think the familiarity with Catterall, I think that's gonna suit him. I think he's gonna go out there and whoop his ass. He might even stop him in the rematch. You know, so what do you think about this shit, bro? Josh Taylor and Catterall, if they fight again.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think you hit it on point. But I do think that the weight is an issue for him. And that layoff, I think probably more so the layoff than the weight. I think he probably could have he do a better performance in the second fight than he did in the first one, based on that layoff. But I think that the weight it probably is time to move it on up to 47, man. And, stake his claim up in that motherfucking division because I ain't see he slowed down a little bit too fast in there for me. You know he do a lot of movement, but it just looked like he just was slowing down and his weight wasn't there. And I think he'd do better on the second fight. It might be lopsided, probably even stoppage.
Yeah, I'm looking at some lopsided. But at the same time, still gotta give respect to what Yasa been telling us about how the coaching change might be a reason why he hasn't looked as good because he didn't even quite look as good against Ramirez. And that's because he ain't been with Shane McGuigan. He been with this other guy. I can't remember his name, but he looked better when he was with McGuigan. But hopefully he get his shit together and come back with something, man. Because I fuck with Josh Taylor, but I do think that he didn't. I don't think he wanted to fight Albert Puello. I think Albert Puello could potentially be the best fighter in the division. I think he got them kind of skills. He a smooth operator out there, and he got the amateur background. He was on the Dominican national team. Southpaw, very slick, very smooth. It don't look like he got the most power, but it look like he got some respectable power. I think he could be the best, man. So I would like to see what's gonna go on with him moving forward. Albert Puello, I like him. D'Lo said, "Let me rephrase it. I want Andre versus his contemporaries. Janibek is like a generation behind him. I just ain't high on him from a performance standpoint. Okay, I got you. He still got to, get his pro style and all that kind of stuff. But I think that he's improving, though. He looked real good against that Danny Dignam guy, but at the same time, who was Danny Dignam? I guess he enough for me to remember his name, but I guess I remember him more for getting knocked out in 2 rounds and getting fucked up. where I'm at. D-Lo said, yes, I respect his pedigree. All right. That's what's up. We done made a breakthrough. D-Lo said, I was pissed at Canelo for ducking Andrade again and not fighting Bivol when he was up at 75 years earlier. I never thought Canelo could beat that motherfucker without help. Yeah. Just like you said, man, as soon as he gave somebody a fair one, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Old face boxer said, Haney gets through Kambosos. Can he get through Lomachenko? Can Devin Haney get through Lomachenko? Well, Lomachenko definitely ain't no Kambosos. I mean, Kambosos was 85-15 over there in Australia, and Lomachenko 396-1 fighting all around the world. I'm talking about bona fide blue chip motherfucker, 5 on my pedigree scale. I give Kambosos, I think I could have sworn I saw he might have won like a national title in Australia. Don't hold me to that though, man. I might be tripping. I know he was 85-15 though, but I definitely didn't see nothing to show me that he's a 5 on my pedigree scale. Lomachenko is a straight up 5. You know what I'm saying? 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He over there kicking ass in the AIBA World Championship, all that shit. Fighting good fighters along the way. Robson Conceição, Jose Ramirez, all kind of motherfuckers, man. Way different type of fighter than Kambosos. But the thing is, he is getting a little bit older. He's in a division where he probably could fight at the division below. Like he probably could fight at 130. To me, he always looked saturated when he was at 135. And this is the entry division for Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't never fought below 135. He's a young guy. He's gonna be getting bigger. He gonna be going to 140 and 147. So I got a guy that's in a saturated division, like as far as his weight, going against a guy that's in his entry division. Naturally bigger man, got long arms. Devin Haney about 5'9", I think, and he got a 72-inch reach. So he basically got a 6-foot man's reach. Lomachenko got like a 65-inch reach. I think that Devin Haney can box his ass on the outside, man. It's just one thing about boxing. A good big man beats a good little man for the most part. And I know that Lomachenko to beat some good guys, but he ain't beat no phenom like a Devin Haney. See, that's one thing. I got an amateur pedigree scale, but I'm actually working on a professional pedigree scale. And at the top of my professional pedigree scale, I'm gonna call it phenom. And that's when you got like Roy Jones, you got all these type motherfuckers, Sugar Ray Leonard, the special fighters of their generation from a physical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess from an all-around standpoint, physical, amateur background, all this kind of shit. I ain't seen Lomachenko beat no phenoms, except for Gary Russell. I guess you could call him a phenom. Even though I think the circumstances for Gary Russell going into that fight was unfavorable. But I got to give him credit on that win. But even in that fight, Lomachenko might have been a naturally bigger man. Going against Devin Haney, another phenom, he won't be the naturally bigger man. So I got to expect Lomachenko to go beat a naturally bigger phenom that's in his prime, coming into his own. I got to take Devin Haney. I got to take Haney. It's too many pluses. And then I'm looking at the activity. This man been active. And he getting confidence. How you feel about that fight, bro? Who you take out of Lomachenko and Devin Haney? We'll ask him again when he come back.
I was on the phone. What happened?
Who you like out of Lomachenko and Devin Haney?
Well, I like Devin Haney, but I think this is gonna be a tough fight because Devin Haney. I mean, as far as experience go, I think Lomachenko favored the guy. I don't know how slowed down Lomachenko will be being out the ring as long as he been, but I think if they both was, at their best, I would pick Haney, but I think Lomachenko will be a definite favorite in a tough fight in that fight, man. I think he'd be real crafty and able to score points and make it difficult throughout the fight because Devin Haney don't got the respectable power. I think he'd have a little more fun fighting Devin Haney than he did to Teofimo Lopez, and he ain't gonna be worried about getting put to sleep as much as he was versus Dio. But I would pick Haney, but I think Loma will give him a good fight.
Oh, definitely give him a good fight. Lomachenko was a special fighter, but feel pretty good about Devin Haney's chances. I mean, Teofimo Lopez, he 5'8" with a 68 in reach. He got the same dimensions as Danny Garcia. We talking about a different type of puzzle right here with Devin Haney. I'm talking about a guy with 72-inch reach. He faster than Teofimo. I think he got better reflexes than Teofimo. I think he got a cooler head than Teofimo too. Teofimo, I think he let Kambosos talk about his game and shit. Devin Haney ain't like that. That motherfucker is solid with his shit. Just a phenom, man. I got to go with Devin Haney. Goddamn it. Hey, we eat crow. We just got to eat crow on that one, man. Dilo said Janabek and Andre may as well happen next because the motherfucker ain't going away. And if Andre drops the belt and isn't fighting a marquee fighter, he may as well back it up and exit stage left, huh? Go on, get out the way, huh? Dilo said I also was hearing that Bivol versus Canelo was going to happen at 168 or catchweight. I wasn't feeling that shit either. Yeah, I was getting the prediction right. And I was like, shit, and Bivol a whooping at 168 too. But shit, Bivol ain't been at 168 in a while, man. So if he ever been at 168, man, you better keep your ass at 175 and do what you got to do. Shit, I'd rather see him fight against Zerto and them motherfuckers instead of going down to 168 and rematching Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be retarded. D'Lo said Haney was supposed to beat Kambosos. That motherfucker ain't on the level. He is right there with Lee Sell, but he just heavier. I mean, I give him credit on the 85-15 amateur background and shit. He pretty tough guy. Devin Haney 130-8. I still consider him like a phenom. Maybe I know I said the word Roy Jones, but what I was really trying to say is like them sparkly fighters, like you just see the glitter on the motherfucker. He just looks special. He's just one of them type of guys. I'm not saying that like Boots Ennis and all these guys like a Roy Jones, but just compared to their contemporaries in their generation, they just look like the shiny, sparkly fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was trying to say. But I ain't seen Lomachenko beat nobody like that though. That's the only thing. Kinfolk pay your bill. Did Bivol get paid? Nigga, did Yasser get paid? That's what I want to know. Did Yasser get paid yet? No, nigga, he ain't got paid. Nigga, go out there and pay your bill. D'Lo said phenom. Okay, I read that. I'm tripping. Or did I? Yeah, I think I just read that. I'm high right now. No Face Boxing said, does Canelo stop Triple G? Can Triple G cause an upset? Man, I hate picking predictions. I very rarely get them right. Me and Marlo been doing this channel since May of 2018, and I've only got about 3 predictions right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Canelo has never dominated a fighter of Triple G's pedigree. Like Triple G is a 4.5 on my pedigree scale. Canelo, he fought against Triple G. He fought against Ezralani Laura. He fought against Mayweather. He fought against Bivol. All of these guys are 4.5s and above on my pedigree scale, and he didn't dominate now one of them. I feel like my boy D'Lo be saying about Triple G. He said he felt like he just got a style that's just gonna always give Canelo problems. I think he do too. I agree with that. The jab and shit is gonna be a problem. When Canelo fight people that got a strong jab, shotgun jab, he has some problems with that shit. I think Canelo is the favorite, a rightful favorite to win the fight, but I don't expect him to go out there and stop Triple G. And one thing, God bless the dead, Kurt Sugar used to say all the time. He said, the great fighters, they usually have one great fight left. And Triple G might have that one great fight left in him. He's been sitting around thinking about Canelo all this time. I don't like the fact that this is his first fight at 168, no acclimation process, but I do like his motivation. I like his familiarity with the guy's style. Canelo, he might be motivated, but he might got a dent in his confidence right now. I think it's a chance, and Triple G got an iron chin. I think the fight goes the distance. But one thing about rematches, for me, they're very unpredictable. Like something usually happens in the rematch. You know, it usually don't go the exact same way that it went the first time. You know what I'm saying? Stop Triple G in the rubber match.
Hey, this is the third fight.
Yeah, the rubber match.
Yeah.
That's what I said, nigga. The rubber match.
Oh, your what's the name went in and out. Your
What you
audio.
think though?
But I think it's probably gonna be this no different than what they being close. I think if Canelo be able to knock Triple G up out the pocket like he did and dominate the inside, I think Canelo would usually come out with a decision. He already be in favor with motherfucking one of the judges anyway, but I think Triple G probably gonna need a knockout to win. It's gonna be difficult to get that. Um, I think Canelo be able to ease that out, split decision type of win, majority decision for Canelo.
Yeah, I'm with you. Maybe even you. You know what I'm saying? But I can't see a stoppage though. But like I said, man, things happen in the rematches and rubber matches and all that kind of shit. That's the way it be. Um, No Face Boxer said, Boxy ready for Bivol Benavidez, or is he a division number 3 or lower? I like Boxy. Olympic bronze medalist and shit. I thought that he would have a tough fight against Craig Richards, but I had respect for Craig Richards going into the fight. I like Spider. You know, if Spider get out there with a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But I like Boxy, man. I like his coach. I know the last fight that we just saw this past weekend where we had Dogboe going against Joey Gonzalez, we got a chance to see the importance of a good coach because Barry Hunter did his motherfucking thing in that fight. And this guy Watsy, he got a good coach behind him. And Virgil Hunter. You know what I'm saying? But I like his ability. I think he a damn good fighter, man. I just, the guys at the top are pretty damn good though. Bivol pretty damn good, man. 4.5 on my scale. But that's the same thing that I got Botsy. I got Botsy at a 4.5 on my pedigree scale. So I think he got action. He might need a little bit more experience, a little bit more time, but overall, I think he a damn good fighter. But I don't know if he gonna ever be good enough to beat Bivol. I mean, Bivol is just a hell of a fighter, 268 and 15, youth AIBA, bronze medalist and shit, won all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? He might not never beat that guy, but I like him as a fighter though. Dio said Jacobs. And go ahead, bro.
Hey, I was gonna say, I like Wazzy too, but I don't think he gonna get past either one of them. I think better be probably gonna end up in the stoppage, and Bill will outpoint him, be able to control him throughout the fight. I think he's decent, but I think his better action would be at Bill, because I think he pretty much got a chance at stopping Bill, putting something together on Bill, maybe late in the round. But I don't see him getting past Bill either, man, as much as I like Watson.
They got a good crop of light heavyweights in the UK. They got he can do his thing on the domestic scene. Yeah, I don't know why I looked over the word better be. Better be would stop his ass more than likely. Like that's a 5, nigga. Fuck a 4.5, nigga. That's a 5 on the pedigree scale. Better be. But yeah, he probably is a number 3 motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Dilo said Jacobs as well as Trout. Oh yeah, Jacobs. He wasn't no 4.5 though. I give Jacob about a 3.5. Jacobs was 137 and 7. Who you say, Austin Trout? Austin Trout, I can't remember his shit. I know he got like 38 losses though. I think Austin Trout, I had him like a 2.5 on my pedigree scale. So that's even worse because they ain't even 4.5s and shit. They 3.5s and 2.5s, and Canelo didn't dominate the motherfuckers. But there have been some other 3.5 that he did dominate, and some of them he did stop. So I mainly just focus on the 4.5s, and that's what Triple G is. And Canelo has not dominated one of those caliber of fighters his entire career. They're always close fights. In some of them, he lost or maybe even should have lost, like against Ezralandi Laura. So it's kind of hard for me to expect him to go dominate a 4.5 guy. Plug Cap said, yeah, something is going to happen. Canelo killing his ass. I wonder, was you one of them people that subscribed to our channel when I was predicting that Canelo was going to get his ass whooped by Bivol? When I was saying that shit, we had a lot of new subscribers. Then all of a sudden, the man get his ass whooped. Me and Marlo, we both took Bivol. The man get his ass whooped. And all of a sudden, how many subscribers did we lose that first week after Canelo got his ass beat?
Like 10. Plug Cat, salute. Mark Blake, salute, bro. What's happening?
I'm talking about as soon as the man lost, we started losing subscribers because people were subscribing to our channel just so they could come gloat and try to rub it in our face that we picked Bivol over Canelo. But motherfuckers got to understand something, man. Our whole existence on this channel is about kicking people in their ass and serving crow. We built for this shit. Stand here, eat crow every single time. But we serve a lot of crow. So what I say, goddamn me, you better take heed, motherfucker. D-Lo said Triple G might be cracking hard as fuck at 168. He might, but he ain't got no acclamation, man. So it still can't be an advantage for him overall. D-Lo said, oh, Canelo was getting a nod unless he gets dropped a time or two. They tried to BS with Bivol, yeah, square business. That's why I was thinking I'll probably take Canelo UD. D-Lo said Bossy has a cool fight coming up. Should be announced soon. It's not a game. Who was that? I just heard about him having a fight announced. Who the fuck was he supposed to be fighting, man? I can't remember. Salute to Mark Blake, man. What's going down in the Netherlands? Goddamn me. D-Lo said Canelo got very little separation versus Trout and Jacobs. I understand what you're saying, nigga. What I'm saying is they not on the level of the other fighters that I was saying that Canelo didn't dominate. So what I said, well, that's even worse because I'm saying that he didn't dominate 4.5s and 5s, and you saying he didn't even dominate a 2.5 and a 3.5. So yeah, nigga, we on the same page. Yeah, Mark Blake, No Face Boxer said outside of Fury and Usyk, you see anyone beating Joe Joyce? Wilder, maybe Joyce look like a top 3 to me. Man, I always like Joe Joyce. I always fuck with the juggernaut. I like when he came out with that outfit on too. Shit, it was some people that were laughing at me and Marlo were like, "Nigga, you get the point though." Now that what Marlo said. He was like, "Nigga, you get the point though." I like that juggernaut, man. But yeah, I liked him in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? He went out there. I thought he beat that motherfucker from France. I keep on saying it all the time, but I'm square business. I liked him when he was in the World Series of Boxing. He went out there and went toe to toe with Usyk. Yeah, and he was the skinny version of Joe Joyce. I like the big version of Joe Joyce, like Little Luther and Big Luther. This is Big Luther right here. I'm fucking with Joe Joyce tough. I think it'll be kind of hard for him to beat Wilder going through that right hand. That'll probably be tough, man. I mean, Wilder, people talk about his skills and shit, but according to his accomplishments, Wilder is a 4.5 on my pedigree scale. He was only 30-5, but in 35 fights, the man won a national championship and an Olympic bronze medal. You don't do that shit on accident. Joe Joyce, he did his thing too, but he was a lot older too, though. Joe Joyce was up in there whooping kids. But I like Joe Joyce, though. I think that people like Philip Ergovich beat Joe Joyce. What's the kid? Big Baby Anderson. Jared Anderson, I think he'll beat Joe Joyce. I just think they too talented for him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like Philip Ergovich, definitely. He might even stop him. D-Lo said, I was typing that before you said that, my brother. Give me a break. All right, I got you. D-Lo said that dickhead helmet out here. That shit was cold though, man. Like, man, it's 11 o'clock on the dot where I'm at, man. You want to go ahead and shut it down, bro?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Man, definitely appreciate y'all coming through. What we got there? Oh, yeah, we got a Showtime fight this weekend, man. So we know that's going to be on TV. So y'all come through and check it out with us.
It's
Danny Garcia. Huh?
It's a good card, too. We got Russell versus Rancis.
Yeah.
Karnacki and Danny Garcia.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be a good one. Y'all come through and check out the fights with us on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call the frog out of well in this bitch and have some fun with it. I gotta say too, man, in every call fights in the community, y'all my motherfucking child. That's square business. I'm the motherfucking godfather of that shit. I just been feeling the need to say that lately. A lot of motherfuckers that be all off in my lane and shit. In our lane, we do the shit together, but I'm just saying, doing that blow by blow, I'm the godfather of that shit. So anybody that call fights, nigga, y'all my motherfucking offspring. But
Hey,
salute to everybody.
I've been waiting to hear those words because this shit, man, I've been like, damn, these motherfuckers don't even give props or nothing.
Yeah, them motherfuckers, they do it so much. They down to make me not even want to call fights no more. Cause they done took all the goddamn value. But it is what it is. Y'all come through and fuck with us on Saturday. We're gonna have fun with it. Call the frog out of well. And yeah, man, we're gonna try to be more active because I know we ain't been able to have as much activity here going on with the boxing. Marlo done had some shit to do. I done had some shit to do and technical difficulties. So we're gonna try to get everything back rolling, you know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death.
Yeah, real talk, man. We had to come in and chop it up with the fam, man. Get the shit slowing down. So we most definitely be back this weekend, chilling. You know what I'm saying? As usual, enjoying the fights. You know what I'm saying? Bring your best libations and your best green. You know what I'm saying? Let's hang out, man. Let's get this shit kicked back off. But man, it's always fun, man, hanging out with the fam, man, sharing each other's opinions on the sport that we rock with. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Y'all always appreciate it. Till next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls, the fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Yeah.